Hello friends, and welcome to the morning edition of Adventures in Pixieland. And we are in Bible study. We're in the Niv. We are in the book of Matthew. We are doing chapter 13 in its entirety, and it is quite long, like 58 verses. So best get started. The parable of, if you've got issues with the fact that it's an if, come back in 2026. I'll be in doing the KJV then. If the version of the Bible, though, if you want to hear all of them, stick around. That's the intention. If you got a favorite version, put it down below. The parable of the sower. Chapter 13, verse 1. That same day, Jesus went out of the house and sat by the lake. Such large crowds gathered around him that he got into a boat and sat in it, all while the people stood on the shore. That's been really weird. Trying to get some peace and quiet, and meanwhile you got people standing around staring at you. The original paparazzi, if you will, but pre-camera invention. Then he told them many things in the parable, saying, a farmer went out to sow his seed. As he was scattering the seed, some fell along the path, and the birds came and ate it up. Some fell on rocky places where it did not have much soil. It sprang up quickly, but the soil was shallow. But when the sun came up, the plants were scorched, so they withered because they had no root. Other seeds fell among thorns, which grew up and choked the plants. Still other seeds fell on the good soil, where it produced crop 100, 60, or 30 times what was sown. He who has ears, let him hear. The disciples came to him and asked, why do you speak to people in parables? He replied, the knowledge of the secrets of the kingdom of heaven has been given to you, but not to them. Whoever has will be given more. Oh, so anybody who's been given the secrets, right, been told parables by him, will be given more secrets, and he will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even when he has, will be taken from him. So you don't get to keep ill-gotten gains. Like that's from Jesus in and of himself. Hair is doing weird things back there and I don't like it. This is why I speak to them in parables. Though seeing they do not see, though hearing they do not hear or understand. In them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah. You will be ever hearing but never understanding. You will be ever seeing but never perceiving. For this people's heart has become calloused. They hardly hear with their ears, and they have closed their eyes. Otherwise, they might see with their eyes and hear with their ears, understand with their hearts, and I in turn, and I would heal them. So that's Isaiah chapter 6, verses 9 and 10. Verse 16. But blessed are your eyes, because they see, and your ears because they hear. For I tell you the truth, many prophets and righteous men longed to see what you see, but did not see it, and to hear what you hear, but did not hear it. Every good little Jewish boy is supposed to be seeking his Messiah. Listen then to what the parable of the sower means. When anyone hears the message about the kingdom and does not understand it, the evil one comes and snatches away what was sown in his heart. This is the seed sown along the path. The ones who received this seed that fell in the rocky places is the man who hears the word and at once receives it with joy. But since he has no root, he lasts only for a short time. When trouble or persecution comes because of the word, he quickly falls away. The one who receives the seed that fell among the thorns is the man who hears the word, but the worries of this life and the deceitfulness of wealth choke it, making it unfruitful. Can't serve both masters. But the one who received the seed that fell in good soil, is the man who hears the word and understands it. He produces a crop yielding 160 or 30 times what was sown. Because he holds it in his heart and he lives his life by it, he becomes an example for other people, and then they start living their life by it because they want whatever he's got. The parable of the weeds. Verse 24. Jesus told them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like a man who sowed good seed in his field while everyone was sleeping. His enemy came and sowed weeds among the wheat and went away. When the wheat sprouted and formed heads, then the weeds also appeared. So the owner's servants came to him and said, "Sir, didn't you sow good seed in your field? Where then did these weeds come from?" "An enemy did this," he replied. The servants asked, "Do you want us to go and pull them up?" "No," he answered, "because while you are pulling the weeds, you might uproot the wheat with them. Let both grow together until harvest. At that time, I will tell the harvesters, first collect the weeds, and then tie them into bundles to be burned. Then gather the wheat and bring it to my barn." No reason to have a stronger reaction than necessary to whatever is going on. I think today in particularly is a good day to remember that we don't need excessively strong emotional reactions to almost anything, ever. Okay? The parables of the mustard seed and the yeast, especially if it's anger, is that feeling that you have going on. Verse 31. He told them then another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which a man took and planted in his field, though it was the smallest of all your seeds. Yet when it grows, it's the largest of the garden plants, becomes a tree, so that the birds in the air come and perch in its branches. All right, so no mustard seed out here in the desert that I've ever had, because I've had wild mustard growing in my backyard, has ever been as big as a tree. But the birds do certainly come and get in them. But I also was getting rid of them before they could get that big, so maybe not. All right, he told them still another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like yeast that a woman took and mixed into a large amount, 3 satas, which is probably about half a bushel or 22 liters of flour, until it worked through all the dough. Jesus spoke all these things to the crowd in parables. He did not say anything to them without using a parable. So that's good. So was fulfilled what he was spoken through the prophet. I will open my mouth in parables. I will utter things hidden since the creation of the world. See, that is Psalm 78, verse 2. The parable of the weeds explained. Then he left the crowd and went into the house. His disciples came to him and he said, "Explain to us the parable of the weeds in the field." He said, "The man who sowed the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world, and the good seed stands for the sons of the kingdom. The weeds are the sons of the evil one, and the enemy who sows them is the devil. In the harvest is the end of an age, and the harvesters are angels. As the weeds are pulled up and burned in the fire, so it will be at the end of an age. The Son of Man will send out his angels, and they will weed out his kingdom, everything that causes sin and all who do evil. They will throw them into the fiery furnace, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Then the righteous will shine like the sun in the kingdom of the Father. Who has ears? He who has ears, let him hear." All right, so that's a lot more direct than just the parables are, because that just sort of is like, and that takes you back to the Old Testament, because remember, their cultural state comes from what's in the Old Testament, and the prophet uses the Ark of the Covenant. Now, I personally believe, this is not mainstream Christianity, take it if you want to, leave it if you don't, that the Ark of the Covenant was like a spirit box. It was a way to have direct communication with Creator, but mostly you were calling in help at wartime. That's why they believed Jesus was supposed to come in and drive out the Romans with a sword instead of doing it with words. Well, that's because the prophets usually activated the Ark of the Covenant, which I think was calling on angelic assistance to help them in their wars. But again, take that for whatever it's worth. The parable of the hidden treasure and the pearl, verse 44. The kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hidden in a field. When a man found it, he hid it again, and then in his joy went and sold all he had bought and all he had and bought that field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant looking for fine pearls. When he had found one of great value, he went away and sold everything he had and bought it. So that's more like, once you find the value that is the kingdom of heaven, you're no longer interested in living any life that doesn't take you to the kingdom of heaven. The parable of the net, verse 47. Once again, the kingdom of heaven is like a net that was let down into a lake and caught all kinds of fish. When it was full, the fishermen pulled it up to the shore. Then they sat down and collected the good fish in the baskets and threw the bad away. This is how it will be at the end of an age. The angels will come and separate the wicked from the righteous and throw them into the fiery furnace, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. And as a person who actually has had a problem with grinding my teeth, I actually understand what that means now. It sounds, you're going to crack your teeth. You're going to hold your, it's not so good. Have you understood all these things? Jesus asked. Yes, they replied. He said to them, therefore, every teacher of the law who has been instructed about the kingdom of heaven is like the owner of a house who brings out of his storeroom new treasures as well as old. Trying to save everybody, you're not supposed to be trying to pick who you're saving. A prophet without honor. Verse 53. When Jesus had finished these parables, he moved on from there. Coming to his hometown, he began to teach the people in their synagogue, and they were amazed. Where did this man get this wisdom and these miraculous powers, they asked. Isn't this the carpenter's son? Isn't his mother named Mary? Aren't his brothers named James, Joseph, Simon, and Judas? Aren't all his sisters with us? Where then did this man get all these things? And they took offense at him. But Jesus said to them, only in his hometown and in his own house is a prophet without honor. And he did not do many miracles there because they lacked faith. Faith-based healing does require that one have faith that one can be healed by the person in particular in the first place. We can hamper our own healing by believing that we can't be healed. We are our own worst enemies, often. So, let's just remember that as we march into this election day here in America, and until just a little while later, friends.